Hey fam, it's Sunday, so you know we are ready for a new episode of New Jack Swing. Welcome back, y'all. So first of all, let me thank everyone for showing up and showing out for my premiere episode. You guys love the backyard look, and so I am forever grateful for your support. Keep the subscribing coming. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, and let's get into this week's episode. So this week's episode is all about my living room summer refresh. So naturally, I went to all of my favorite places, HomeGoods, HomeSense, TJMaxx, and Marshalls, to find exactly what I was looking for. I was going to need pillows, I was going to need curtains, and I was going to need some accent pieces that really tied everything together. So let's get into this haul. Okay, so this is what my living room looks like in its current state. It's cute, it's modern, but I'm quite bored with it, so let's change it up. Okay, so you guys know me. The first thing I'm going to do is to clean up the space. I love Method products, and I love this Method wood cleaner. It smells so good. So I'm just giving the table a nice clean, and I want to make sure that it's nice and polished. So the living room doesn't get a ton of traffic, but I do want to make sure that it's always a clean space where my friends come by. All right, the next thing we want to do is get all of the glassware and the windows together. And so I'm using my Method glass cleaner. I love the way this smells, y'all. I am basically just kind of doing a wipe down. It gets very dusty, so I'm making sure that I'm taking my time. I don't want any streaks. And a lot of the lamps in my house have these sort of glass bases, so I'm cleaning these at least once a week. So making sure that I hit this console table with the microfiber cloth so there's no dust. All right, let's get these windows together. So I'm just basically taking a paper towel and my Method cleaner and making sure that I'm getting all of the windows and inside the corners because I want it to be super clean when I put up the new curtains. Okay, now that the windows are clean, it's time to strip down all the curtains. I love these curtains, y'all. These are by Nicole Miller, and these are beautiful. They're nice and heavy, so they were able to keep me warm in the winter, but it's time for them to come down, and let's add a little bit of color. I also didn't realize how height challenged I was, so you'll see that later. So family, my couch is a fabric couch. And so because of that, my friends, when they come and sit on the couch, their fabric rubs against the other fabric and you get these like really weird fabric knots. And so I bought this handy dandy tool that removes them, and I love it. Now we're at the fun part where we can actually start styling the living room. And so I bought these curtains from HomeSense, and they are by Tahari. And I love Tahari's curtains. They're always fun and they've got a funky vibe to them. And that's exactly what I was going for in the living room. I wanted it to have this sort of pop of color, but I wanted it to also be fun and inviting at the same time. Y'all, I was getting my life to Stevie Wonder while I was putting these curtains up. I love Stevie Wonder, but I have 4 windows in my living room, so I needed 8 panels to complete the job. And it can be a little bit of a chore trying to make sure that they're up and that they are looking pleated like they should be. So what you see me doing here is I'm actually just going over making sure the pleats are aligned, because that is a huge part of, when your curtains, when you're opening them and closing them, that they don't look wrinkled. So here I'm starting to just put the living room back together with the normal things that I have in here. Y'all, I love to decorate with books. I think you should too. So previously, I didn't have many things on the wall here in the living room just because I hadn't figured out exactly what I wanted to do. But I found this great piece of art at Home Goods, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's got blue, it's got gold in it. It's perfect for the living room. And so I use these 3M strips. I hate to drill into my walls. So I use these 3M strips, and baby, when I tell you they are sturdy, believe me, honey, they are very sturdy. So the ones that I bought are the long ones, and they can hold up to about 16 pounds. So this was simple. Confidence through the roof, baby. As long as that leveler said that we are even, I was in my world. In a world where all of our photos are on social media, I love making sure that I take those photos and frame them and put them on my wall. On to the fun part. I added this vase and I added this tray because I wanted to bring in some pops of color. Now, here's a little tip about styling trays. I always go with less is more. I love to decorate with books, so there's always some kind of books around. There's always a candle in place. And of course, to put the candle out, you need a snuffer. So I wanted to make this as simplistic as I could. Okay, onto the couch, because this is where you're really going to start to see some pops of color when you immediately walk in. I already had these blue pillows. I had them from the wintertime and they were in my bedroom. And they're kind of like a velvet fabric, which I kind of love because I think they add some luxe. But then I found these pillows at Home Goods. So y'all know how I feel about tags, off with their heads. But I thought this beautiful yellow would just really work well with the blue. And I wanted to use the pillows that came with the couch just to give it just an added zazz. And I was just trying to figure out like where they go and how to make them look good. And so finally, I was happy with the look. So y'all, it is a whole thing to make the wall in my house. And that means to have your picture prominently displayed in a frame and on the wall. My friends love to see themselves in frames and on my wall. And if they haven't made the wall, they make it a point to let me know. Some have even went on social media to tell me that they have not seen their photos on my wall. So I love to celebrate my friends. I love to celebrate my friendships. And so I'm happy to post their photos on my wall. And so here, I wanted to make sure that the orientation of the photos sort of had a different look. I didn't want them straight across, so I wanted to just jazz it up a little bit. But here you can see my leveler did me dirty, and I had to end up taking off this frame and just repositioning it because it was crooked. So got to make it look right. Okay, so as we're getting closer to the reveal, I just wanted to give the room my last once over. And I pulled out my handy dandy cordless vac, which is my favorite, one of my favorite household tools in the whole world. And I also wanted to give the room a nice smell. I love this by Meyer Lemon. It's usually used for the kitchen, but I wanted to use it here in the living room too because it just smells like home. Okay, reveal time, no talking.